Hi, I found somewhere else to live, but the rent is $2,600 more a year. I don't know where I'm meant to find that kind of money from. I'm already cutting back as it is.
I understand, but that is the current market rate at the moment. You may need to keep looking or review your budget.
This is the reality for a tenant who was served a Section 21 before the ban on the 1st of May. She earns around £26,000 a year. She's not choosing to move. She's being forced back into the market. And when she does, her rent will increase to £2,600 a year. That's the starting point, not the worst case. Private renters in the UK are now spending over 40% of their income on rent. And in less than 2 years, rents have risen by nearly 8%. When it comes to housing, the picture is pretty bleak. There are record levels of people living in temporary accommodation across London and across the country. Social housing waiting lists are at an all-time high. We are seeing rising numbers of rough sleepers. London councils spend £5.5 million a day on homelessness, according to 2024 to 2025 figures. This is largely because there aren't enough affordable homes to meet demand. Under Part 7 of the Housing Act 1996, a person is statutory homeless if they have no accommodation that is reasonable to occupy, including cases where housing is unaffordable or they are threatened with homelessness within 56 days. Local authorities must consider affordability when assessing if accommodation is suitable. You can have a roof over your head and still in law be homeless. In this particular case, the tenant is being made homeless because of the Section 21 notice. But if her only option is unaffordable and leaves her unable to meet her basic needs, then on paper she's housed. But in housing law, she may be homeless all over again. That doesn't mean there's no support available. Depending on individual circumstances, there may be entitlement to housing benefit or the housing element of universal credit, and in some cases, assistance with deposits or moving costs. But even where that support exists, it doesn't always make the accommodation sustainable in the long term. Now she's relying on family again, something she thought was behind her. What this case highlights isn't just a single moment, but a pattern that repeats itself. A notice is served, a tenancy ends, and on paper, a solution follows. But where affordability isn't there, that solution can quickly unravel, creating a cycle where people move, but don't necessarily move forward. In this case, the tenant is one of many that has been pushed back into a market they can't afford to re-enter. At a time when homelessness is already a growing issue across England. Section 21 has been abolished, but thousands were already served before the change came into force. So what happens to them?